are willing to pay top dollar to the people who have these skills. So business analysis is one of those skills. And it's basically like the foundation to other skill sets. You can choose to, move into like data analysis, cybersecurity analysis, information technology, becoming a Scrum Master, product manager. You probably heard about all of these other career paths. It all starts from business analysis. So I'm going to be going into that and learning about that this morning. All right. So let me know in the comments if this is you. Do you have any type of work experience? Are you passionate about solving problems? Are you interested in how technology can make your life better? And do you love to make changes to the norm? You like to make everything around you better? Let me know in the chat if this is you. Which of them can you relate with? Which of them can you relate with? Dixon, Bumi, Shoyinka, Bumi Ayedun, MJ, Nina, Oluchi, Amobola, Patience, Fatima. Which of them can you relate with? Which of them really speaks to you? Okay. Bumi says she can relate with all of them. That's fantastic. Awesome. That's fantastic. All right. So have you been involved in any of this? You've been involved in helping a company or an organization do any of this, increasing their profits, helping them, with their cost savings, helping them with employee retention, helping them to retain employees, helping with business process improvement. You've been involved in improving productivity. You've been involved in improving the performance of a solution. You've been involved in customer retention, helping to retain customers, helping to satisfy our customers, customer satisfaction. You've been involved in helping with employee attrition, ensuring that we're not losing employees to competitors. You've been involved in helping a company create a new product or a new service. You've been involved in helping your company to address competitive disadvantage or advantage in their industry. So which of these can you relate with? Which of these have you done in the past, or are you currently doing, or have you been involved in? MJ, you said, all to what? The previous question or this one? So which of these activities, which of these have you been involved in? How many of them? All of them? 3, 4, 5? Just one part of it. Rumi says all of them. Fantastic. I love that. Fantastic. Okay, good. Have you been involved in helping to increase employee satisfaction? Have you been involved in helping to ensure compliance with regulatory policies and regulatory bodies? Have you been involved in helping to improve safety in the organization? Have you been involved in helping to reduce the time we use to deliver our products and our services? Have you been involved in helping your company to implement a new system, a new technology, a new process, a new solution? Have you been involved in doing some market research, user analysis, understanding our users and understanding the market? Okay, thank you, MJ. So, how many have you been involved in? All of them? A couple of them? How many? Because the truth is, there's nothing that you do at work that doesn't cover any of these things that we've talked about. Some way, somehow, you're involved in all of this, or most of them. Oh, fantastic. Dixon says compliance with regulatory. Bumi says a couple of them. Good. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. Well, the truth is everyone is actually a business analyst. And if you've been able to do either 1, 2, 3, all of them, you've been practicing business analysis, because that's what business analysis is all about. So the realization only comes from understanding what business analysis is and what is really required, from a business analyst, and how you can grow a successful business analysis career. So what is business analysis? It is really the practice of enabling change in an organizational context. So anywhere that you're actually helping to enable change in an organization, that's business analysis. And you do that by defining the needs, understanding the needs of the organization, understanding the needs of the users, right? And then recommending those solutions, right, to the stakeholders, ensuring that it delivers value. So if you do your research, understand what the needs are, then based on your research and the outcomes, you recommend solutions to the business. to the business stakeholders. So that is business analysis. So what makes it defined as business analysis? Because the truth is, a lot of us have been doing these things, from those tasks I mentioned previously. But however, what now makes it, formally business analysis is the kind of tasks you're doing and the kind of techniques that you're using. So once you're now doing it under the standard techniques and the standard tasks, then you're performing business analysis according to the IIBA, which is the International Institute of Business Analysis. So they say once you're now using some certain techniques, then you're now a business analyst. However, all those activities that we just talked about earlier, they're all business analysis activities, all of them. You're helping the company save costs, increase their profits, ensuring compliance, helping the company launch a new product, launch a new service, improve our business process. All of that, helping with user research, that's all business analysis. That's what BAs do every day. However, it's how we do it, right? So it's not just what we're doing now, but how we go about doing it. So who is a business analyst? A business analyst is any person who performs business analysis tasks described by the Babel Guide, no matter your job title or organizational role. So as we learned before, if you're doing any of all those things, you're already a business analyst. And if you're now using some set of techniques and tools and tasks, that now makes you a business analyst, regardless of your title, regardless of your organizational role. So earlier I said everyone is a business analyst, and that's the truth. If you're able to understand the problems of the organization or the enterprise, you understand their goals, you're able to analyze their needs and analyze the solutions to those needs. If you're able to devise new strategies to actually achieving those goals, if you're able to drive change in the organization, if you're able to facilitate stakeholder collaboration, ensure that all your stakeholders are collaborating with you, that is business analysis in a nutshell. And if you're able to be doing this, or you're doing this every day on your job, then you're a business analyst. Then you're a business analyst. That's it, as simple as it is. In the US, the average salary of a business analyst is around, this was 2020, the results of 2021 will be out in November. However, the average salary for a business analyst in 2020, even though the world was going through a pandemic and everything, and people were saying there were no jobs and all of that, the average salary of a business analyst in the US was $104,502. And women were earning, the average salary of a woman who was in business analysis in the United States was earning $102,279. Okay. The top industries where BAs work in the US: finance, insurance, banking, information technology, healthcare, and pharmaceutical industry. The top paying industries were consulting and professional services, other services, and energy and utilities. And the highest paying industry was consulting, which was $146,982. These are all six-figure earnings for business analysts, and that's in the US. In Canada, the average salary of a BA is $108,090 Canadian dollars. That was 2020. Now we can see that women earn less than men in Canada because there are less women in the BA industry. And I'm so happy that I'm here to share this with you, because more women can be in the business analysis sector, business analysis industry. As you can see, the men were earning, average man was earning $115,000, while the women were earning $97,000. So there's still that, that income gap, as you can see. And that's because a lot of women are not, using the skills and experience they already have to come into business analysis. A lot of women feel like, they are best for customer service jobs, which is not true, because those same skills you're using to satisfy the customers, you can still use that in business analysis, as we learned earlier. Top industries where BAs work as well: in Canada, finance, insurance, banking, information technology, government. So if you're in any of these industries, you should be working as a business analyst if you're not earning up to what the average BA earns there. The top paying industries in Canada for business analysts are energy and utilities, which is $153,963 Canadian dollars, healthcare and pharmacy, $127,000, and then finance, insurance, and banking, which is $110,000 Canadian dollars. So as we can see, there is a thriving, the thriving industry in business analysis. And there is a heavy need and demand for business analysis skills. As we learned earlier, there are already skills that we're already using day to day. And the people who recognize that I have these skills and experience, why don't I just learn the techniques to use them properly as a business analyst? Because regardless of my job title or my role previously, I can still use this as a business analyst and increase my income, grow in my career, and work in a career where my skills are valued, and I'm being compensated heavily for it, as we can see from what these people are earning, which is the average salary. In Australia, the average business analyst earns $137,000, and women are around the $137,000 mark annually for 2020. Top industries, pretty much the same, but the top paying industries in Australia are the government, healthcare, and information technology, with government being $160,000. So this is a global career path. It's not a career path that, you can only work in Calgary or Edmonton or Toronto, or you can only work in New York or California or Phoenix. That's not true. Or Arizona, no. Or you can only work in Sydney, Australia, no. Business analysts are everywhere. In the UK, in Nigeria, in Ghana, anywhere. Any company that is striving to improve their business processes, that has goals that needs to be accomplished, that is trying to stand out in their industry, value their business analysts. And as we can see from what they're being compensated by, which are just basically salary, not talking about the bonuses and the perks that companies give to their employees. Companies value business analysts because, remember, these analysts help the companies to increase their profits, save costs, improve their business processes, stand out in their industry. So why not compensate these people, with these skills, right? And the BA can work at different levels in an organization. So with business analysis, there are 3 levels that the BA can work in. We have the strategic, tactical, and operational. With the strategic level, it's the strategy side of things where you're working with senior management. And at this point, you're helping the senior management to develop the long-term goals, long-term strategy, 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years. That's what you're doing as the BA. You're working on the main organizational goals. That's what you're doing at a strategic level. As a BA, you can work at the tactical level as well. At the tactical level, the BA is supporting the managers, the directors, the managers, the senior managers, the people who provide guidance to the operational staff, right? They're helping them to ensure that they're improving the business process, helping them to ensure that they're looking at the feedback from reports that those people share with them, seeing how well we're doing with customer satisfaction ratings, how well we're doing with our deployment of our services, how well we're doing with our delivery of our goods or our products and all of that. That's a tactical level. You're working with the managers, the people who manage the operational level. The operational level are the people who work in the offices, in our branches, in our retail stores and all of that. That's the operational level. As a BA, you can still work with those people, understanding what they do every day, how they serve their customers, what are the common complaints customers have, what are the challenges they have, on their job, how can we make their job smoother and easier? Can we, bring in some technology that will help them to do less of the manual things that they do? How can we use technology now to help them on their job? So that's what the BA does. You can work in those 3 levels. You can work across all levels of the business. So if your experience is more in operations, I meet people who say, I've always worked in the bank and I was in operations. Well, in the operational level, there's still business analysis work that goes on there. If you've been a manager, a senior manager, things like in the tactical level, there's still some level of business analysis that goes in there. If you've always worked, with senior management, you've always been someone who probably you were a consultant or something like that, or you've been, working with senior management for a long time, and you understand how to set up strategy and plans and goals for an organization. Well, business analysis is a career path for you. Okay. So what are the different job titles that you would hear? Because business analysis is just the generic job title. Like I said, with business analysis, you can choose to move into any industry, any domain, learn any skill and build up upon it. So These are common job titles that BAs have. So the generic one is business analyst. However, you can be a business analyst, in some specialty, like a product analyst or a product manager, where you're in charge of a product, right? You can be a data analyst or a business intelligence analyst, where you're using data analysis and business intelligence tools, like advanced Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, to, bring in source data. When you source the data, you clean up the data, you create reports with those data, visualize the data, and then use that to advise the business based on the data you receive. That's still business analysis work. So using data, doing that. Okay. Yeah, financial analysts. Financial analysts are still business analysts. And what they do is using financial data, financial information to advise the business, to recommend solutions to the business, right? Doing trend analysis, and all of that. And, doing some, sometimes they have to do some regression, sometimes they have to do some forecasting, budgeting. That's all business analysis. Okay. Requirements analyst or requirements engineer, they're also titles of business analysts. And these are people who they go out to get the requirements from the stakeholders, from the users, and then they analyze those requirements that they want based on the needs of our stakeholders. Customer experience analysts, these people are focused on the customer's experience. They're always, you would have, sometimes you would get emails asking about, how did you enjoy, you came into our brand today, how was the experience? You purchased our product today, tell us about your experience and all of that. There's someone behind that activity. There's someone behind this whose job is to understand customers' experience and improve customers' experience. You used our website today. How was your experience checking out and buying things through our store? We want to know how we can serve you better. And you can give them feedback. Oh, well, it was difficult for me to remove things from my cart, or it was difficult for me to select multiple items at the same time, or your store doesn't have different selections for organic or non-organic food. And you give them that feedback, and the business analyst or customer experience analyst analyzes all those feedback he or she gets, and then recommends to the business, well, we need to improve our website in this way so that the customer shopping experience can be better. That's business analysis. User research analyst as well. They research what users want. For example, gadgets like our phones, our iPads, our laptops. A lot of times it's user research. They ask users, how can, this tool be better for you? What can we put in it? What can we do that will make it better for you? And a lot of times the users actually tell these businesses what they want. That's a user research analyst. And then this person comes back with all these results and compiles and formulates a fantastic recommendation to the business. A product owner is simply just like a product manager, is the owner of a product, right? So whatever our product is, if our company produces products ABC, which is a product for women, or maybe a product for nursing mothers, then I am the product owner and I ensure that that product is serving the right customers, is at the right pricing. We're ensuring that the delivery of those products are going out, the logistics and supply chain of that product, everything about that product, I own it, ensuring that I'm satisfying my clients, I'm getting their feedback and improving the product for them. This is all business analysis. And a lot of us have done all of this or do all of this in our daily role. And please, I'd like you to share with me so that I understand, if a lot of this relates with you, or, there are things that, you've done or you're doing at work, so that I can understand, if, this is making sense to everyone. So please feel free to use the chat as well. There are other functional BA job titles. There are some job titles that we have as BAs that are sort of functional, depending on the kind of role you do. So if you're involved in technology, maybe you know how to use a particular technology, then you can be like a Salesforce business analyst, which is Salesforce is the technology that you know how to use. SAP business analyst, maybe you know how to use SAP, right? SAP, which is an organizational ERP, then you can be a business analyst for that software. You can be a domain business analyst, which is someone who has experience in an industry, banking business analyst, healthcare business analyst, right? If you have experience in banking, I have 10 years of experience in banking. Well, you can actually be a business analyst in banking because you understand the end-to-end of banking. Is it credit? Is it operations? Is it loans and mortgages? You understand banking, then you can be a business analyst and be recommending solutions and guiding the business. You can be a business analyst based on the framework that you know or you understand. For example, the agile business analyst is someone who understands the agile framework and is helping the company use agile, to deliver their solutions. You can be a business analyst based on the perspective that you choose to work in. So like I shared earlier, like the data analyst is a business analyst, but focusing more on the data side of things, right? Using data to recommend solutions. And we have the business process analyst, for example. This business analyst is focused on the business process, reviewing everything that we do in the business, from when a customer walks into the door, to when the customer leaves, for when a customer lands on our website to purchase something, to when they check out and receive their item, by delivery. Everything, the business process analyst is involved in every step of this process and is constantly looking for ways to make things easier, make things better. That's who the business process analyst is. So these are also different kinds of job titles of business analysts. Different kinds of job titles of business analysts. So how do you become a business analyst, one? And then how do you sustain your role with ease? How do you do that? So are you always looking at business analysis job descriptions? Maybe you've heard business analysis, you're looking at the job descriptions, it looks like something you can't do. Have you researched about business analysis salaries? Wondering if that's something you want to do? Or are you worried about the BA activities because you feel, oh, I don't have the experience, I'm not a business analyst? Or you feel, I don't know the tools that business analysts use, or I don't know, I see all these people on LinkedIn, they say they're business analysts, but I don't even understand what they do. I'm wondering if it's something that I can also do. Let me know in the chat, if that's you, if you've been thinking about business analysis or seeing people who are business analysts and wondering what they do. Or you've probably taken a training, but you still don't know how you can get around business analysis, or you've tried to apply to BA roles, didn't get any interviews, you don't have experience of the BA techniques and tools that they asked about, and you're kind of lost, or you're probably working a job where you'd rather be, earning better, because with a BA role, you can actually earn better, as we could see earlier, using the same skills and experience you already have. Do you feel like you provide more value than the compensation that you already get? Then if that is you, then of course we'll be learning more how you can do that. You use LinkedIn, you don't know how to use LinkedIn, right? Because with LinkedIn, there's so many opportunities you can get there. If you have a good LinkedIn profile, recruiters will reach out to you, for these BA offers, for these BA opportunities. Or you feel like, oh, I need to have a tech degree, I need to study computer science to work as a BA, and I don't have it. I feel like I'm not going to be a good business analyst. That's not true. Or maybe you want a career change at this point. You want to also make changes in your life and you're not sure what you could do. Well, business analysis might be the path for you. Or you just want more like a more fulfilled life. You just don't want to work so hard and not seeing the compensation for it. Then business analysis might definitely be the path for you. Or in your current work, your current work situation, there's no visible path to success or to growth or to increase in your package, because of the kind of industry you find yourself in, or the kind of company you find yourself in. Feels like there's a ceiling to the amount of money you can make in that industry. Well, or in that company, well, business analysis is a career path that you can actually work anywhere, as we could see, in those earlier slides, right? And you don't know that you are actually the treasure chest of your own wealth with your existing skills and experience. Because if you've been doing all those things we talked about earlier, then you can actually do business analysis because you've been doing it already. That's the truth. So when you learn how to unlock your potential, you will have the complete control of who you work with, how you work with them, the kind of salary you want to command. You'll be able to attract opportunities and predicting over and over the exact idea of how to pitch your value and what you're worth. You become more confident in your knowledge and your skills and become multi-skilled and be able to determine your career growth plan. Because as we could see, as a business analyst, you can work in any level, you can work in any industry as well. The invisible ceiling on your income would definitely disappear because you can, blast through stuff right away. You can do more as a business analyst. You can choose to become a consultant or choose to work as a full-time employee, totally up to you. And you finally have the right skills and assets that make over $100,000. And you can also do this by tapping into that joy you had when you first imagined the dream job that you want and the life that you want. So who am I? My name is Eno Eka, and as Susan already introduced me, I have been globally recognized and sought after for business analysis, as a consultant, helping thousands of people to grow their income to 6 figures as a business analyst. I used to be an accountant. I was formerly an accountant, and I turned to a business analyst back in Nigeria, moved to Canada, and in 6 months, I got my first six-figure job, earning over $100,000. Made over $250,000 in 2 years as a consultant, as a business analysis consultant, right? So what I do now is specializing in helping professionals leverage their existing skills and experience to transition into business analysis, grow their income to over $100,000 in 3 months, and attract global opportunities. Because as a business analyst, you can work anywhere in the world with these existing skills and experience. So if you're the kind of person who felt like, oh, I need to go back to school, I need to go get a degree, I need to have a degree in computer science or IT, that's not true. I used to be an accountant. I've never written a line of code ever in my life before. I'm not a software engineer or anything like that. I just realized that the existing skills I was already using in my accounting job, I could use that in business analysis. And that's when I made that change. So a lot of the things that, are here on this slide, Susan had already shared about, my journey and the things that I do with my business analysis school and my company, Eno Consulting, where I train business analysts and agile project managers. I work with the IIBA as a director of education there. And I've been seen and featured on several online media publications, TV, radio, newspaper, you name it, all because of business analysis. Received several awards and recognitions for my work in business analysis and in education and in supporting immigrants, because I was an immigrant as well. So how did I'm still an immigrant in Canada, but I was an early immigrant who was struggling, who felt like, oh, I needed to, go work in Walmart or Home Depot or work at the warehouse, because when I came to Canada, that's what I thought, and that's what I was told was the way to start my journey. So this was me in my old job, where I was very depressed, very sad. This was back in Nigeria, and I just wanted something more. And this was typically my life, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, but I wanted something more. And that's why I started looking for business analysis, even though it wasn't popular in Nigeria as at that time. I wanted to just go in, through that uncharted path. And today, here I am, being one of the 8 women to watch in business analysis for 2021. And these are a couple of features that I've had, from newspapers to awards, to magazines, to TV, and all of that. So I've also had my struggles. A lot of whom might feel like, oh, well, Eno, it's not easy being an immigrant and all of that. It's been a lot of struggles. I have had my own share of struggles. When I arrived Canada in April 2018, I lost my bags on the flight. So I had to really start all over again. Imagine moving yourself to a new country and losing your bags, losing everything, and starting from the beginning. And that's the last email I got from Air Canada, where they couldn't find my bag after a month or 2 months of searching. And I started from this really small bedroom, nothing big, right? It's not like, everything was rosy in the beginning. I had to, start from somewhere and grow. But one thing that kept me going was the fact that I knew that I had the skill, which was business analysis. I knew that with that skill, I was very certain that I was going to be able to I was going to be successful in Canada, because there was a huge demand for business analysis. There still is a huge demand for business analysis in Canada and the US. So, I knew that whatever the adversity I was going through, I was just going to keep pushing, and I did. So I have been stuck, I've been bored, I've struggled with my career as well, which a lot of people have, and I've been told I wasn't worth it. So if that is you, or you feel like you didn't deserve the job, because they say, oh, you didn't have Canadian experience, things like that, I have also faced those challenges. But in 6 months of getting a business analyst job, I bought my dream house, my dream car of working as a business analyst here in Canada. And that's why I like to share this with every immigrant, with everybody I see, that business analysis can also change your life. And I've been helping others to do the same, right? Because as you could see, this is the career path that easily pushes you to 6 figures, regardless of your experience, regardless of your degree, whether you study philosophy, English, medicine, it doesn't matter. If you can help a company do this. This is Josephine, a woman, a daughter of Zion, just like you, who is a business analyst with the Bank of Canada now. She used to work in construction back in Nigeria. Now she's a business analyst in the Bank of Canada. This is Egosare Ege. She now works, in the energy sector. She used to work in the bank as well in Nigeria. So regardless of the industry you worked in, it doesn't matter. So I want to tell you how you can turn your experience into 6-figure income, even though it sounds crazy to some people. Like, how can I work 6 figures? Like, how can I do that? That's almost impossible. I don't have the experience, I don't have the skills. How to attract global opportunities around the world using the experience and skills you already have. And then there are actually 2 skills that you already have right now that can get you those opportunities, because I'm very sure that we all do. How do you negotiate top dollar salary and packages for yourself? And how do you create a personal brand and assets that will do the marketing for you? So the first step is your mindset, right? You need to know that whatever you set your mind to, you can achieve it. If you have the right mindset going forward, like I shared with you, I had my own challenges as well as a new immigrant to Canada. But I had the right mindset that no matter what, if I set my mind to achieve it, I can. That I wasn't going to go to the warehouse or go to work at, Amazon warehouse or work at, or at Walmart sales associate service or in their warehouse, because I knew that the skills I had, I was going to use it to live a better life. Moving here was not just by chance, it was ordained by God. And because it was ordained by God, he was going to set my path, right for me. So I had that mindset that I was going to achieve success no matter what. That mindset is so, so key. And that is why that is the first step I'm sharing with you today. You need to also audit your journey and understand your value. If you've done something of value for company A, you can also do it for company B. A lot of times as immigrants, we feel like, oh, my experience was with Baba Yabo Nigeria Services. My experience was with Glo, or was with Access Bank, or it was with Union Bank, it's not a Canadian bank, it's not Bank of America, it's not RBC, it's not TD. Therefore, my experience in those companies is not relevant. However, if you've been able to contribute to the success and provide value to company A, you can do that to company B, regardless of the location. So you have to build your self-confidence and your self-belief. Believe in yourself, right? Build your self-confidence, because confidence is something that a lot of people lack, and that's what's really holding them back from actually achieving their goals. So having the right tools as well to help you stay optimistic, have the right tools. Are you reading your Bible? Are you praying? Do you set your feet in the word of God and what God tells you? Do you journal as well? Do you pray? Do you speak to God? Do you stay optimistic? How do you stay optimistic? Do you surround yourself with the right people? Like having this amazing community of Daughters of Zion. Those are the kind of tools and the kind of support that you need to stay optimistic. And then understanding that you're a solution provider, right? No matter where you worked, no matter what you did, even if it was your own business. I've had students who, they were entrepreneurs, they were bakers, they were makeup artists, but they were providing solutions. They found a need and they provided a solution through their small businesses. And you can still use that experience as a solution provider, whether it was a large organization or a one-man business. You can use that experience as a solution provider to continue to provide solutions to other organizations. Okay. So this is a screenshot of one of my students who was able to negotiate her offer, right? She was given an offer of level 2 and was able to negotiate to level 5. Now, this is something that a lot of us as immigrants don't do. When we receive job offers, we just take the offer. Meanwhile, the first offer you're given is not always the best offer, because here companies expect you to negotiate. Negotiation is a norm, right? And we as immigrants were unaware that this is the situation here, that you're also supposed to negotiate your offers, because you can be offered 80K or 70K, and with negotiation, you can actually get 120, 130K if you know how to negotiate right, if you have the right skills and the right experience, and you share your value and say, hey, I'm bringing this to the table, therefore I'm looking at this compensation package. So make sure that you're negotiating your salaries. Don't just take anything out of desperation because you feel, oh, I just want to take anything and have any job. No, understand your value. What are people like me, that have my experience and skills? What are they earning? I should be earning the same or even more, so understand that, and this is also one of my students who just got a bureau with a consulting firm, right? And it says, number one was my mindset was key, always reassuring myself that you are capable of getting the role because no one can motivate me like myself. The mindset is so key. When you have the right mindset, everything will work out for you. No matter the initial challenges you face, you know that at the end of the day, it's definitely going to be for your own good. The second step is your experience. A lot of us, we discount our experience very easily. I've heard people, and I've met people who say, oh, well, I'm not even qualified for that. I just worked in one, place like that, in one place in like Sulere, in one kind of place. They already discount. Well, I was in operations, I was in customer service, I was customer care staff. They already talk down themselves, and that's very wrong. You should be confident in your experience. No matter what you've done, you've provided value to that company. Even if your job was to be a dog greeter, it's valuable to a company. So never bring down your experience, past experience, present experience. It doesn't matter, because there's still some value in what you bring to the table. If you're not bringing value, nobody will be paying you for that job. So understand that your job title doesn't matter. Whether you are called associate, you are called customer service rep, you are called teller, you are called marketer, you were called financial service manager, you were called banking officer, you were called sales rep, whatever you're being called, your job title doesn't matter. Every experience is valid. No matter what you've done, your experience is valid. And as you can see in business analysis, every experience counts. So don't discount your job experience at all because you didn't have the title of job business analyst. Don't do that, right? Leverage the experience you have to get you to where you want to be. There's people that, there are some people that I admire in this world, and there are people that know how to, even though what they do is like, it's so minute, right? It's something that, some people do every day and they don't see it as a big deal. There are people who would, the way they'll present what they did, even you will be amazed, like, wow, that's how you should be about your experience. You should be proud of your experience. You should be able to talk about it, share it, and tell them, this is what I've done. And I can even do ×2 and ×3 because of the experience I've gathered over the past few years. Okay. This is, one of my students who got an offer from banking, always worked in banking back home, worked in TD Bank here, and now moved to the IT, a software company here in Calgary as a full-time business analyst. Your experience doesn't matter at all. Sometimes it's unbelievable for us because we can't just imagine, I've always just known how to do like an account, I've always known how to debit and credit, profit and loss statement, cash flow statements, those are the things I've always known how to do. How do I start doing this thing called business analysis? Sometimes some things are unimaginable for us. But if we understand that there's value in what we do, our experience is valid, that financial experience you have, that financial expertise that you have can be relevant somewhere else where you can actually make more money, where you can, be more fulfilled. Then you understand that, with a career and business analysis, anything is possible. This is also one of my students who was able to move from oil well engineering into business system analysis. And he got this offer in his first month of moving to Canada after starting his process in Nigeria, which I recommend for a lot of immigrants to start their process in Nigeria. So by the time they come here, they are able to, land that first quick job like that as a business analyst, okay? The third step is your knowledge. A lot of the knowledge that we've gathered, from going to college, going to university, we have our bachelor's, we have our master's degrees, we've taken lots of, other courses as well. We've studied a lot of books, we attend webinars, we listen to podcasts, our work experience. All of that is still relevant, okay? None of that is irrelevant. A lot of times I've seen people who say, oh, well, what I studied is just, I studied this and it's not relevant, it's not important, or I took a course one time, one data course or something, it's not important, or, I know how to, I have the knowledge of how to use this system, I know how to use this software, but I don't know, I just used it one time when I was working in that company, I used it for like a year. But there are actually other companies that use that same system, use that same software, and your knowledge of how to use it or how to implement it can be relevant somewhere. Leverage the knowledge that you already have. Sometimes we're always looking for something more, something extra, but the knowledge you already have can still work for you. I have a student who she was the team lead for the customer contact center where people like call in and all of that back in Nigeria. She's now a customer contact center business analyst with Shaw. She's the business analyst that leads their customer contact center right now, helping them to ensure that the customer contact center, actually, runs smoothly. And I told her, your experience and your knowledge about this thing can be valuable for you. Working in an industry, using a tool or a software makes you knowledgeable about something. Leverage that knowledge. Become what we call a subject matter expert. Become a subject matter expert in what you do, in what you know. Use that, leverage that. That's your power. That's unique. I've never run a customer contact center before. I mean, I could take up that job, but I have to also learn the ins and outs of how a customer contact center works. I mean, I've seen how it works, people taking calls and all of that. And that's what I know about customer contact centers, but I don't really know all the things that are involved in that. But she had that experience, and that experience was valuable for her in finding her first business analyst job. Improve your knowledge, learn about business analysis frameworks, the techniques that BAs use, the tools they use, the terminologies that we use. Learn those terminologies, learn the frameworks, learn the techniques. As you increase your knowledge in that way, you also increase your earnings and you become a go-to expert. Because imagine combining your industry knowledge with business analysis. That's where everything takes off for you. And this is also someone who sharing, she said she pushed herself constantly, learning, leveraging her skills and self-belief. And 8 months after, she got her first BA job in a tech company. And she used to work, in a finance company. Now she works in a tech company. This is from Nigeria. So anything is possible if you leverage your knowledge and the skills you have. When we talk about skills, people feel like, oh, skills need to be like, oh, do I know how to use this tool or this software? That's not true, because you already use skills at work. Your skills that you have at work, you're using them to bring value at work. And there's 2 types of skills that are relevant to business analysis: hard skills and soft skills. And those hard skills and soft skills are things you've been using already in your previous job. So know how to transfer those skills to business analysis. Do what we call a SWOT analysis: strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Which skills are my strengths right now that are unique to me, that are my power? Which skills can land me opportunities? Which skills am I weak in? Are my weaknesses? How can I improve them and make them my strengths? What are going to be threats to me entering business analysis? Maybe I can improve on those. Maybe I need to learn more about the BA techniques, the BA terminologies. Learn new skills quickly. When you learn new skills quickly, it sets you apart, whether on the job or off the job. Always find ways to learn new skills, improve on your skills, what we call upskilling, right? Improve on it. The Excel you learned in 1997 is not the Excel that we're using now in 2021. Improve on your skills, learn more every day. Be open to learning new things. Keep learning all the required skills for your target roles. If you are targeting a particular role and you see some skills there that you don't have, go and learn it. And then you'll be able to put it on your resume and you'll be able to speak to it during the interview. Companies like people who are proactive. They don't wait to be told. They don't wait to be told this is what you need to do. Hello, Mr. Manager, I went ahead to take this course on this skill because I realized that it was relevant for this role. So I took proactive steps to learning about this. Companies love that. This is one of the students who, she was an entrepreneur, never worked a white collar job. I was able to land her first job at 80K, as a business analyst. So what are the types of skills that are relevant to business analysis? The hard skills are some of the most relevant skills. Customer experience is a hard skill in business analysis. Design thinking, understanding how to create designs. The agile mindset, the agile framework is a hard skill. Change management, if you know how to manage change, how to manage people when we're going through a change, that's change management. User stories, if you understand how users want to interact with the system and you can document it as a story, that is a hard skill. Negotiation skills, if you know how to negotiate, that is a business analysis hard skill. Critical thinking, if you can apply critical thinking to everything that you do, which a lot of people, especially people who are like in banking, accounting, they're critical thinkers, right? That is a hard skill in business analysis. Problem solving, the job of a business analyst is mostly solving problems. So if you can apply problem solving to your daily work and you have that skill, then you have one of the hard skills. Decision making, being able to analyze several options and make decisions is a hard skill in business analysis. Soft skills in business analysis, number one, communication skills, being able to communicate effectively, doing presentations, facilitating meetings and workshops, is what business analysts do, documenting them, putting them on in reports, putting them in guides, in manuals, in standards. Communication skills, written skills, verbal communication skills are very important, and which is 90% of the work that a BA does. Creative thinking, being creative in your thinking, finding new ways of doing things, that's creativity. Organizational skills, understanding how the organization works and how to leverage the different resources within the organization. Leadership, as a BA, you're a leader, so you need to leverage your leadership skills. Emotional intelligence, very important skill, soft skill for a business analyst, understanding how to work with people, because as a BA, you work with so many people. Okay, and then storytelling. You have to be able to tell stories as a BA, share the customer journey, understand what the pains of a customer are, understand the motivation of a customer to work with us or to leverage use our services, and use that as a means to serve the customer. So storytelling, is a soft skill for business analysts. So these are soft skills that business analysts use, and those were the hard skills. So you will never see anywhere where you see anything that has to do with a tool or a technique as the skills. The skills are basically skills that we all use every day. Which of these skills do you use every day? Let me know in the chat. So these are skills we use every day, and these are the skills that the BAs around the world are using, on the job. So your skills are relevant. And then, of course, understanding the agile approach. The agile approach is a new way of managing projects or managing products. And the adoption of agile is increasing every day and every year, as we can see. Therefore, as business analysts, we need to understand the new approaches, and that's why we need to constantly upskill and keep learning. Certifications are important in business analysis. You need to know what certifications companies are looking out for in their new hires. If you go, to Indeed, go to LinkedIn Jobs, if you look at the job descriptions, you will see the job descriptions there. You would see what they're looking for, the certifications that are nice to have, that are a must have. And I mean, if there's a certification required for my industry or for my job, I'll go and get it, because if I get it, I can leverage that to negotiate better salary. So get the ones that have the most demand. If you see there's a certification that a lot of companies in that industry or in that field are asking for, go and get it. They will help you to validate your skills and experience, and they will help you to be seen as an expert. And that now you become globally sought after, because you have the certifications that not everybody is going to get, but you are going to get it. It puts you higher than everybody else, because you check all the boxes, and you have a better understanding of your job if you can understand those certifications, pass the certification, and understand how you can now leverage the knowledge you got from those certifications to the job. Because it's not just having the designations, but it's about using the knowledge you got from that certification on the job. Certifications are important, and they help you to land those jobs. So with business analysis, the highest certification is our CBAP. And in the business analysis field, you can work without a certification or with the certification. However, with the certification, you earn more than the average BA. The average BA who holds a CBAP certification earns 26% more than a non-certified BA. That's a lot of salary difference. So the CBAP, if you have more than 5 years of experience, you can take the CBAP certification and become certified. What are the benefits of getting certifications? It gives you greater fulfillment at work, gives you higher confidence at work. It brings salary increase, promotion, helps you improve your performance review ratings, helping you to find a job, and all of the above. So these are what people say the benefits of the certification has helped them to do in their BA careers. Now, this is one of my students who passed her CBAP exam. She works in finance. However, she was able to pass her exam within 1 month of constant practice and guidance. So it is possible as well. Yes, there are a lot of terminologies in business analysis you need to learn. You need to learn the techniques, but with the right guidance, you definitely can. It's also one of my students, Richard, who passed, the CBAP certification, which I advise anyone who has more than 5 years of experience to take. And because he passed his certification, he was able to land a role as a business analyst in one of the big fours, which is Deloitte. He was able to land a role as a senior business analyst with his CBAP certification. What is mentorship, and how is mentorship part of the steps to landing these BA offers and earning 6 figures? Well, mentorship is sort of a shortcut and it's an easier way, right? When you learn from someone who has already done it, you learn from their experiences because they've already made the mistakes that you would have already made. They would guide you and tell you, what is required in the industry. Because they're in the industry, they know, what's hot and what's not. They would guide you, the mistakes they already made, you won't have to make them. And you save so much time, which is priceless. So I advise everyone, regardless of your industry, regardless of what you do, find a mentor, someone who is higher, who is above you, who has gone ahead of you in their professional careers, and learn from them, ask them questions, also provide support to them. And as you're providing support to them, you're learning from their experiences. And these are, some of my mentees who are able to land offers as business analysts, landing 6-figure offers with 100K salary as base, on their first 6-figure jobs, and basically just showing them the path to success and the path to how I was able to do this for myself. So continuous improvement is one of the steps to ensuring that you stay relevant, you sustain your role with ease, and you keep growing as a business analyst. You never stop learning as a business analyst. The BA field is very dynamic, changes very often, new things coming up every day. So you have to stay on top of things. New trends, tools, techniques, methodologies, you name it, you have to stay on top of things. There's always something new to learn. And that's the beauty of business analysis, is that every day is different. No day is the same. When I used to work as an accountant, it was so boring because I was doing the same thing every day. But business analysis can never be the same. Everything is different. There's something challenging you every day, something new every day. And that's the bit fun about it. You definitely can't get bored with business analysis. You can work in different industries: banking, healthcare, pharmacy, government, energy, oil and gas. You can work in any industry, right? You can decide to work in any perspective. Maybe you like the numbers, you like to use Excel and all of that. Maybe I could work in data as a data analyst. I love to analyze business process. Maybe I could do business process analysis. Or I've learned about the agile. I can work in agile. Or I like to work in project. I can be a project business analyst. Or I like to work on products and make sure that the product are serving customers. And I can be a product analyst or a product manager or a product owner. So there's so many things you can do as a business analyst. You can never get bored. It's constant growth, constant improvement, in the business analysis career path. This is one of my students who used to work in sales in the aviation industry, now works with Atco Energy, and, in his first 2 weeks of applying for roles, he got an offer from Atco Group, got an offer from Fujitsu, Energy and IT, and he had to pick, one of them, and was able to land his first 6-figure offer, right? He's working sales in aviation. So regardless of your industry, regardless of what you've done, it is possible. It definitely is possible for you as well. So what are some key tasks that business analysts carry out to help organizations solve problems? Because like I said before, we're problem solvers. We're just there to solve problems for the company, right? Sometimes we foresee a problem, we solve it. We start finding ways to mitigate it, right? Or there's an existing problem and we find ways to solve it. So the first step is needs assessment. What do we do there? We're defining the business problem. There's a problem in the business or a business opportunity. Sometimes it might not be an opportunity to maybe want to enter a new market, want to move into Africa. Maybe it's a company that's moving into Africa, moving to the UAE, something like that. Or we have a problem and want to solve it, or we have an opportunity. So the BA is trying to define it for the business. The BA is going to collect and analyze the information. We're going to collaborate, in the development of the project goals, the objectives, working with a team. What are our goals, what are our objectives? How can we achieve it? Who are the stakeholders we need to work with? Internal stakeholders, external stakeholders to the business, regulators, the government, do we need to work with them? Who are the internal stakeholders, the finance team, the supply chain team, the marketing team, the sales team? Who are the people that I need to work with for this project? And then understand your stakeholders' values. What is of value to your stakeholder? What is of value to the finance manager, different from the sales manager, different from the marketing manager, different from the supply chain manager, right? Different from the IT manager. They all have different values. They all know what they want in a particular project. So how can I make sure that I satisfy all these people? So that's what a BA does during needs assessment, assessing the needs of the business and the stakeholders. Planning. The BA is involved in planning as well. We review the business case. Okay, so the business says we're going forward. with this project. Fantastic. We define the strategy that we're going to adopt to solve this. Remember, I talked about strategy. The BA works on strategy level, tactical level, operational level. So there we define the strategy we're going to use to achieve this goal. We develop a requirements management plan where we actually plan how we're going to get requirements from our stakeholders as well, and how we'll manage those requirements. Because of course, during any project, there might be changes, right? There might be changes to our project based on regulatory information, government policies, based on changes within our organization. Sometimes, while you're working on a project, the company goal might shift, might change. See, for example, when COVID happened, right? A lot of things had to change. A lot of people were working on projects that had to be paused or redirected based on COVID. So change happens, and we need to plan for change that would definitely happen. So the BA stays on top of all of this, right? Change control, document control as well. The BA develops all the documentation or works with the team to develop the documentation and ensures that these documents are correct, they're aligned to the needs and aligned to the business analysis objectives. And then we also set up the metrics for the business. How do we actually set up metrics that we can say, okay, this is what we want to achieve. Okay, by Q3, by Q4, we should have achieved 70%, 80%. These are the things we need to get done. We set those criteria and make sure that we're able to achieve them. If we can see that we're not meeting it, we're not close to those goals, we have, sessions with our teams, we have meetings, understand what the problems are, and try to resolve them as quickly as possible. The BA stays on top of things, with planning. Analysis, which is a lot of the work that we do because we're business analysts, right? So analysis is something that we're constantly doing. We're constantly analyzing, whether formally or informally. We get our requirements from our stakeholders, we elicit requirements, we'll analyze those requirements, decompose them, break them down, because a lot of times, what the users might give us might be very vague, but the BA understands. It might be very, very vague. We use BA techniques to decompose it. You can ask a user, well, for example, you can ask a user, for example, if I was a business analyst with a bank and we're developing a mobile app for our users, right? Our mobile banking app. And I'm trying to collect requirements. And I just ask the users, well, what would you like this app to do for you? Users can be very vague. Well, I want to be able to send money. I want to be able to receive money. I want to be able to pay my bills. That's what the user would tell you. You as a business analyst now goes down to break it down, understand, because you understand how the users think and what they want. Well, what are the features we're going to put in this mobile app that will help people to send money? Do we use Interact? They want Interact. They want Western Union, MoneyGram, right? What are the options that they would need to pay their bills? What kind of bills do people really pay? They pay water bill, energy bills, they pay their taxes, property taxes, they pay their income taxes. What are the typical utility bills that people pay? Their phone bills, right? We now see how we can break this down so that it's easy for people to pay their bills, on the website or on the mobile app. That's analyzing, decomposing, and elaborating all of our requirements. Understanding the different options and the capabilities and how we will break it down. That's what a business analyst documents. We understand when we get our requirements, we make sure that it's signed off, it's approved by the approving authority as well, right? So we write down all these requirements, we make sure it's validated, we go back and ask the users, are you sure this is what you want? This is how you want it to be? If we design it this way, is this something that you would like? Okay, look at what we've designed. What do you think about it? Give us your feedback. That's what the BA does. Analyzing, working with the stakeholders, working with the customers, ensuring that whatever we're delivering is valuable. Tracing and monitoring. When we get these requirements, we'll track our requirements. We will monitor our requirements. We'll update our requirement status. We'll communicate our requirements. We'll manage changes to our requirements because changes are bound to happen. And when changes happen, it's the role of the BA to manage that change. Okay. And when we get all these requirements, we're not the ones that will implement it because we are not the ones that are going to actually build or develop any mobile app or website or anything. We document this and give it to the people that will document it. And then we monitor the progress of the development. Okay. Evaluation. As BAs, we're constantly evaluating. So as we build it for our users, we are validating, asking them, is it working? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? A lot of times you might use an application, you use a website, you get an email saying, tell us about your experience or rate this feature. things like that. We're trying to understand, is it really working for you? Give us feedback, right? Is it working for you? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? You analyze the solution and see how we can improve it, make it better. Sometimes you can see, oh, we've upgraded. There's a new upgrade to this mobile app version, something else, because we've upgraded some features in that app. So we're constantly evaluating, right? We're looking at our business processes. How do we serve our customers in our local branches? Why do we have a wait time of 10 minutes when our wait time can be 2 minutes? How can we ensure that customers don't spend more than 2 minutes in our locations with getting their request? Maybe they can do pre-orders and just come and pick up in the store. Maybe we can actually deliver to their home, so they don't have to leave their houses. We can actually bring it to their homes through delivery and logistics services. We're thinking of ways to evaluate our processes, evaluate our solutions, and make it better. So no matter the state, whether we have deployed it already or it's in progress, we're constantly evaluating. Does it make sense? Is it profitable for the business? Hope we're not running at a loss. For our customers, can they afford? Is it within a competitive price tag, right? How can we ensure that we attract more people? Do we give free shipping for orders over this amount and all of that? That's all business analysis. Everything that you see that happens in the business is all business analysis, because remember, we talked about cost savings, increasing profits, satisfying customers, improving business processes, developing new solutions, new products. That's all business analysis. So we're going to take a poll now. On the scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you about becoming a business analyst and sustaining in the years? I want everybody to drop in the chat right now, all of us, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you about becoming a business analyst and sustaining it with ease? I'm watching the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you? Ify, 7, great. Stellar, 5, fantastic. Okay. Fati, 7, great. Bumi, 8, lovely. Anyone else? That's just 4 people. For me, say 7, lovely. Lovely. All right. So here's, another daughter of Zion, just like you. She's a business analyst. She's now works with the Alberta government. She worked with the Alberta government and then now works with the Bank of Canada. And she used to work, in the bank in Nigeria. And, she was an operational staff, right? And, this is Bumi as well. Bumi now works as a supply chain business analyst because her experience was already in supply chain from back home. And she just leveraged that experience to work into business analysis in the energy sector. This is Fumi. Fumi works in the bank. Now she works in the telecom sector, I think Shaw Communications, Shaw Telecoms, as a business analyst. So regardless of your experience, these are, daughters of Zion just like you. This is Tosin. Tosin worked in banking, then she also worked in a one-man business. Now she works as a business analyst and a scrum master with the government. So, it is possible for you, and I want you to be confident. Thank you, Annie, the 7, that's great. I want you to be confident in the skills and experience that you already have, as a business analyst. So let me know if you have any questions. Happy to take any questions. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, Eno Eka, and my website is businessanalysisschool.com. I'll be here to take any questions in the next couple of minutes before I step out. Thank you. I'll be checking the chat for questions if there are any questions. You're welcome, Stella. You're welcome.
Wow. In fact, believe it or not, thank you so much, Eka. I'm still struggling to find the right words to properly describe how fantastic even inspiring this session is right now. But thank you so much for delivering such a remarkably outstanding presentation. So
Sure, you're welcome.
for everybody. So if you have any question, this is not my line. I'm not an expert in this area. So unfortunately, I won't be able to answer any questions. So Eno is here right now. Feel free to ask our questions if you know that it is something that you'll be interested in, or maybe it's a career path, maybe you think it is a goal for you. I think it is a good time for us to ask our questions. So
Sure.
please feel free. You can send your question to her directly. It doesn't have to be to everybody. So just send it to her directly, privately, and she'll be able to respond to those questions. And I'm very sure that she will definitely be ready to help us further if in case we have some people that will be interested in like maybe pursuing this career path. I'm very sure that she will be available to assist us as much as she can. So do we have any question? Please, let's send our questions, please. If you think it is something you would like to pursue, I think that career is very, very interesting one. And that six figures part is something is something interesting for me. The six figure is really, really interesting. And I think our women should look into that.
For sure. There's less women in business analysis in Canada compared to the US. So there's still more space for women, you know, in this career path for sure.
And if not for anything, at least for that six figure, we should pursue that. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and do you have some questions? Do you have some people sent some to you?
No, I don't have any questions. It's just thanks. Ify asked how she could for my email, so I sent her my email.
Okay.
And you know, yeah, you're welcome, Stella, Abimbola. You're welcome, Fati, Bumi, Oyin. You're so welcome. Welcome. Oyin, the recording. I think Suzanne will be able to provide the recording to you because I believe it's recorded. So yes.
Yeah, we will definitely provide the recording to everyone, except you have not, if you are not part of us, but maybe you join this program, if you are not part of our group, or you don't usually receive emails from me, you can message me privately so that you can have access to the video. Definitely, we are going to upload it on our YouTube anyway, so everyone will have access to it. So somebody is asking a question here from Ife. Aside from LinkedIn, how else can we connect with you? Email, phone number. Yeah, so
I sent her an email, so she can definitely send me an email. Yeah.
Okay.